Okay, so hello and welcome everyone. In front of you is Sir Sheikh Bilal Haq, and today is the session in which I'm going to deal with the last day revision strategy, some of the most important point for strategic business leadership examination. So let's see what basically the strategic business leadership have to tell us all about. In today's class, we are moving towards the last day revision strategy, right? So let's just quickly go through it. You can watch it on YouTube. I'll upload it on YouTube as well. Firstly, you need to go through some of the financial issues. Make sure that you have a very good revision of these financial ratios, specifically the profit and loss, sales trend, gross profit margin, net profit margin, and return on capital employed. These are specifically the ratios that relates to sorry, the ratios that relates to the profit and loss statement, that is the income statement. Then if I talk about the balance sheet ratio, so for the balance sheet ratio, we have got the current asset. Similarly, we have the quick ratio available. We have the interest cover ratio. So these are some of the most important ratios that you might be calculating in your real-time SBL exam that is going to be held on Tuesday. Then one of the most important ratios is the efficiency ratio. That is the revenue per employee. You need to calculate the efficiency ratio. There might be some situation where the examiner would want you to calculate the labor turnover ratio as well. So make sure that you are very well aware of this. Some of the most important financial projections include the present value. If the examiner is asking you to evaluate the given scenario and the examiner have given you some of the financial data, make sure that you will be going for the four different areas. The most important one is the net present value. Then we have the accounting rate of return, internal rate of return, and discounted cash flows. Make sure that you know the relationship between the net present value and the rate of return, the target value, and so on and so forth. So this is how the first point will be moving. Moving forward, evaluate. Now there are different types of questions that you can be told or you guys can be asked. Number one is evaluate the proposed strategy related to the investment using the given ratio. So you might be able to evaluate the proposed strategy by using the given ratio. Now, how will you be evaluating it? If you are being told to evaluate the given strategy using a given ratio, make sure, alert, no need to have any calculator aspect on spreadsheet. Just use the given data onto the word response section. Just calculate it within your calculators. You do not need to show any form of calculation for the ratios. Yes, if you have a limited amount of time, if you have that extra time, then and only then you can show the ratios calculation. But my suggestion is that, as you know, SBL is a lengthy exam, so you do not need to show any form of calculation. Just straight away give the answer of your calculation. Now, the second most, let's suppose, asked question is using the appropriate investment appraisal technique, evaluate with the help of financial data given the proposed strategy, which shall be adopted. Alert, use financial data to calculate. More specifically, I have told you many times that for the financial data, you will be using the NPV, the IRR, the ARR, discounted cash flows. In spreadsheet, give your answer. If the examiner is wanting you to calculate the NPV, or is he has given you the data for the calculation of IRR, or let's suppose he has given you the data for the calculation of the discounted cash flows, make sure you calculate it on spreadsheet. Define ratios in detail. Remember, ratios are always defined from denominator to numerator. So if you are defining a ratio, you will be defining it from denominator to numerator. Then it says that 20% of the paper is based on common sense. Remember, 20 to 30% paper will obviously relate to the common sense. Just make sure that you have a very proper understanding of all the topics and make sure that you can write something related to those topics. some of the most important formats that I would want you all to please kindly go through. Number one is the format for the report, briefing paper, notes, memos. I'll share these formats on my WhatsApp groups as well. Presentation slides, press release, emails, letters, and project initiation documents. So these are the most important formats that I would want you all to kindly go through before going into your examination. When you are attempting the SBL examination, you know that you are either going to, let's suppose, write your answers for the board of directors, or you are going to write your answers for the stakeholder. So any one of them, make sure that you wear the appropriate hat and you apply the knowledge, the skills, and the communication style in the given scenario that is being asked. Practice exam in CD format. I know that now we are only left with one day, so you must be just revising out things, but make sure that you just go through the CD platform once before going into your examination. That is by day today end or by tomorrow's time. Anytime you should go through the CD platform. So, what past exam library do we have? We have got the SBL December 2020. We have got 2021 syllabus, practice exam 1, 2, 3, specimen, Microsoft Office. You can always solve them on Microsoft Office. Why student fail in SBL exam? This is the most important thing that I would want to discuss right now. Overall, the standard of the answer in June 2021 attempt was one of the poorest is in SBL so far. So I have picked up one of the most poorest examination, and the examiner basically have identified some of the weakness, and they have given some recommendations. So I would want you all to kindly go through this video very properly. These areas can help you in clearing your exam. Sometimes what you do is your answer is not linked with the exit. You try to write generic answer, which is not acceptable at all. Merely copy pasting material from the exhibit. You are just copy pasting. See, I'm not against the copy pasting of the material, but what I want you all is to add on something that relates to your own work, because you will not be getting marks just by simply copy pasting your material from the examination point of view. Then poor technical knowledge. If you have not gone through the entire syllabus of SBL, make sure that you give a quick review of the entire syllabus before going into an examination. My suggestion is all those who do not have those 5 days handout, or they should go through those handout. They should go through the format paper that I presented to my students. Then exclusively there are the short responses. Students do not know how to respond to the question. For example, I have stated this many times during my videos, during my lectures in my regular classes. Remember one thing: you will be told to answer the exam in the given format, plus one valid point is going to gain you two separate marks. 2 marks for one valid point, well, although there are some exceptions. Now, another mistake that students commonly do is that they are not reading the requirement carefully, insufficient number of points. So if there are 10 specific marks for a particular question, make sure you write 5 points. You have to do this in the given scenario, in the stated format, otherwise you will lose marks. Weak in typing, I hope so. This is now no more a problem, because many students who have been my regular students, I have kept you guys typing on the laptops on your PCs, on the PCs that have been provided by the institute, and we have done as many questions in class as possible. Then we have no practice on CD. So if you want to practice, you should always practice on the CD platform. My recommendation, or my areas of recommendation, will be that your preparation should include the preparation of the CV format. Make sure that you have done my mock exam, that is the mock exam given to you by SBH, and you'll get your answer reviewed. Even if you have not yet attempted, you can directly contact me and I'll provide you my mock exam. Stay away from the books, technical articles, and revision kit. What you need to go through is now 5 days workshop handout. Make sure that you have all those 5 days in your mind. I have uploaded those 5 days on my YouTube channel as well, so you will not be having any hassle, going through those 5 days. But still, now we do not have that much kind of time to go through it once again. Don't overstudy, just over practice. Now, this is the most important part. I have made some WhatsApp group of SBL as well. So I hope so you're going to go through those WhatsApp group. Now, these are the most important topics that I feel, trust me, these are just those topics that I feel can be the most important area in the SBL examination. However, the real scenario might be different. So, one thing for sure is that you will be covering each and every part. One thing for sure is that you will be covering each and every part, but yes, at the end of the day, there are certain topics that you need to go through specifically. That is the risk heat map, Tara model, SFA, TOES, SORT, PESTEL, Fortify Force, Boston Consultant Group, that's corporate parenting, Harman's process strategy, ends of growth model, cultural web, Mendo's matrix model, context of change. There are a few other topics that I would like to include in this right now. I'm just writing it. We have got a topic of the four line of defense. Let me show you. We have got a topic of the new topic that are included includes the Tucker. The question that has been deleted is the Tucker question, 5 question. But the most important topic that I feel can be tested in this attempt is the, let me write it for you. 13 topic that I would want you all to go through is the four line of, and another topic that I would want you all to please go through is the new topics that were included in the SBL examination. I would want you to please kindly go through those topics because they are also equally important. And something which is new becomes the part of the ACCA's SBL exam. So these are some of the most important models that I would want you all to go through. Then let's just quickly switch towards the topics that are most important. The internal audit controls, risk management, big data, new topics, funding strategy, budgets, value chain, weakness and recommendation, integrated reporting, e-business. Then we have the social and environmental concerns, NEDs, board committees. There are two different types of boards. Unitary and two-type board have been the most favorite part for the examiner. Make sure that you just quickly go through the concept behind the unitary and two-type board. Then we have the budgets, and last but not the least, the project management topic. Make sure that you go through these topics before going into your final examination. There are some new topics that have been included, four lines of defense. That is the risk management. Then we have the artificial intelligence, robotics, potential benefits, ethical implication, risks. Syllabus changes are minor, so nothing to panic about. I would want you all to kindly go through my SBL YouTube channel, which is with the name of Sheikh Bilal Haq. I'll also share the video for the new topics, that is AI, robotics, data intelligence, and data mining, and all of the topics that are related. Remember, there are topics which have been deleted. The Tucker 5 question model have been deleted from the examination. This is what I want you all to kind of go through. We have got the blockchain technology article. We have got the cryptocurrency and IPO, initial public offering, and cybersecurity. I will be sharing this article with my on my WhatsApp group, so you can easily go through it. No new article for December, I've written it wrong, for March 2021. Risk register, if you want, you can draw the risk register by say a risk, impact, likelihood, priority, mitigation actions, owners, and the next review of the risk will be taken on. I have given you my numbers so that you can easily go through them. Again, four line of defense. I'm just quickly going through the four line of defense so that you can revise it there and then. Remember, this topic is a new topic and it's a very small topic, so you guys can easily go through the four lines of defense. The first line of defense is for the employee. So this So this means risk management. For employee, you should have proper policies and procedures. You should provide induction trainings to the employees. There should be regular performance appraisal right at the end and in the middle of the year in which you are working for, and reward or punishment if the employees are doing a super job. If the employees are maintaining the culture, you should give them a reward. If not, then obviously, if the employees is involved in some fraudulent or dubious activity, make sure that you punish them, which is the first line of defense, which basically is being stated by the first line of defense. Then if I move towards the second line of defense, that is for the managers. It says that you need to supervise the employees, review and monitor their performance, risk and compliance department in larger organizations will help the manager to perform the duties well. Along with this, the management or the board will also be in a position to evaluate the management strategies along with the control element. The third line of defense is for the internal auditor. The objective of the internal auditor is to review an assessment of the regular meetings and the regular audits, raw materials, and all other factors. Having good knowledge of the organization internal control system, but may not be 100% independent. You know this very well. We have been chanting this around in our regular classes as well. Last, the fourth line of defense is for the external auditor. The external auditors are the bodies are more independent than the internal auditor, fresh pair of eyes, so that will provide you a good risk-oriented strategy. Having the external and wider industry experience will give on something advantageous and less knowledge about the organization internal control system and policies. So I'm giving you my number as well. Let's move to the handout number two. I request you all to kindly go through these two handouts because this is the most important one right now. So handout number two goes in this way. My name is Sheikh Bilal Haq, and I've been teaching this. Now, this is the most beautiful handout that I've made, and I would want you to kindly go through this handout because this handout is going to help you in your clearing your exam and quickly revising each and everything. So, if you want to revise the topics along with the formats, along with the professional marks, keeping in view, I have kept the basis of professional marks, and I would want you to do it. So, if you feel that you are in the last minute, you do not know what evaluation skills or what the evaluation skills basically mean, and you want to revise the format for the report, I would, and the most important topic that is the integrated reporting six capital. So I would request you all to kindly go through the DCS question number 1A part 2, which is included in specimen paper number 1. So this will help you in revising your evaluation topic. If you want to revise the topic of communication and commercial acumen skills, including the briefing paper format, I would request you to kindly go through. And the topic that you would want to revise is the strategic change management. My request would be to kindly go through my mock exam number 2, which I have conducted in my regular course and in my workshop. Question number 1B. The third point is that if you want to revise the evaluation skills along with skepticism, and you would want to go through the briefing paper in letter format, and you do not know what the corporate governance or internal control is, or you want to have some additional, let's suppose, some additional viewpoint on this topic, so you can revise question number 1B, question 2A and B of rail company. That's specimen number 2. The fourth question that will help you in clearing the examination is the communication skills, and the format goes with the report format. The topic that you would want to revise is the project team management topic, and you can go to the specimen number 3, question number 3A and 4A. Then we have got another topic that is the last topic. If you want to revise the commercial acumen and communication skills along with the format of presentation slides, emails, letters, and briefing note. You want to revise the topic of KPI, CSF, chain management, and restructuring. You can go to question number 3, A, B, and C, March 2020. So these are the benchmark question of every SBL student should attempt in the time-bound scenario and confidence themselves before going into your examination. You attain 20 easy marks for showcasing these professional skills. Last piece of advice: whenever you are going through the SBL question, make sure that you adopt four ways strategy. Know yourself, whom you are being allotted as a position in the SBL paper. Number one, you might be told that you are the external auditor, you are the external consultant, or you might be other, you are working as an internal consultant or internal advisor, or any one of you. So first identify who you are, then identify who you are talking to. Because if you are talking to the CFO of the company, make sure that your answer includes some financial areas. But if you are talking to the CEO of the company, you can give a 360 view of the company in a very professional format and in a very professional channels. Then the third thing is what professional formats is being asked. The examiner might ask you to give the format of report, or he might ask you to give the format for the press release, or the examiner might say that okay, now you need to give me the format of memo, letter, or any other format. So make sure that you are very well aware of what these formats are and how to draft these formats. And last but not the least, how to find skills, which skill is being tested in which specific question. You need to tune yourself in this regard. So best of luck to all, to every one of you who is listening to this video. I hope so that you are going to gain some very good marks. I am available today and tomorrow as well in order to facilitate you guys. I'll be sharing some voice notes, some extra tips, some important questions. Everything will be shared on the WhatsApp group. I hope so that I am able to facilitate as many students as possible. Best of luck. This is SBH signing off.